Hello guys. In today's video we will show you how to set up your NUTV5 and NUTV5-S systems. If you have the NUTV5 system, you will have only one box, the NUTV5 box. If you have the NUTV5-S system, you will have a second box, the N sub box. Let's walk through each one of them and see what's inside. In the NUTV5 box, you will find the HS4 amplifier, NBC Bluetooth controller, and a pair of N5 speakers. Inside the HS4 amplifier box, you will have the new HS4.4 amplifier. And mounting screws. Inside the NBC Bluetooth controller box, you will find the NBC Bluetooth controller, 3 mounting plates, the flush mount plate, the handlebar mount plate, and surface mount plate. 2 pairs of 10 feet RCA cables. Three M sticker and 4 shrink tubes. Mounting screws. At the bottom of the NUTV5 box, you will find a pair of N5 speakers, mounting clamps, and smart handles attached to the speakers. For those who have the NUTV5-S system and have the N sub box, in the N sub box you will find the N sub subwoofer, mounting clamps, and smart handle. Now let me show you how to hook it up correctly. Before we start, it's important to know that the HS4 amplifier is already preset to get the most out of your system, so we advise you not to change the amplifier settings. Let's start by connecting the HS4 amplifier and the NBC Bluetooth controller. Connect the red power lead of the HS4 amplifier to the positive plus 12 volt battery post. Then run the black ground power cable to the negative battery post. The NBC controller should be connected to an accessory post, bus bar, or any other non-constant 12 volt power source. This to ensure that the NBC will see power only when the vehicle switch is on. Next, you should connect the HS4 amplifier's blue remote in wire to the NBC's blue remote out wire. As you can see, the NBC has 2 blue remote out wires in case you are using 2 amplifiers. In our case, we are using only 1 amp, so 1 blue remote out wire should remain untouched. The last thing we need to hook up here is the RCA cables between the HS4 amplifier and the NBC Bluetooth controller. The HS4 amplifier has 2 RCA inputs labeled as front channel and rear channel. It also has 2 operation modes, the 2-channel mode and the 4-channel mode. In our setup, we are using the 4-channel mode. The front channels RCA are in charge of the front channels, the white and gray outputs. The rear channels RCA are in charge of the rear channels, green and purple outputs. The NBC Bluetooth controller has 2 RCA outputs labeled as AMP1 and AMP2. If you have the NUTV5 system, take one of the RCA cables and connect the NBC's AMP1 RCA output to the HS4's front channel RCA input. The NBC's AMP2 RCA output and the HS4's rear channel RCA input should remain unplugged. If you have the NUTV5-S system, take the first RCA cable and connect the NBC's AMP1 RCA output to the HS4's front channel RCA input. Take the second RCA cable and connect the NBC's AMP2 RCA output to the HS4's rear channel RCA input. Before we move on to the speakers, turn on the NBC Bluetooth controller by pressing the left power button. When the NBC Bluetooth controller is powered on, you should see a blue LED light on the front of your HS4 amplifier. If you don't, please recheck your wiring. If the front of your HS4 amplifier has a blue LED light, you can proceed to the speakers. With your NBC, you received 4 pieces of transparent heat shrink tube. After connecting the RCA cables and ensuring you have the right RCA cables connected to the right outputs from the NBC and inputs from the amplifier, we strongly suggest shrinking the tubes around the RCA connections. To do so, you must cut the protective caps off the RCA plugs. The RCA plugs of AMP1 output were already removed. You must cut off the caps of AMP2 RCA output. The HS4 amplifier has 4 channels. The white and gray are the front channels and the purple and green are the rear channels. The front channels are dedicated to the tower speakers and the rear channels are dedicated to the N-sub subwoofer. Let's start by connecting the N5 speakers to the HS4 amplifier. We will connect the 2 N5 speakers to the front channels. The red wire of the N5 speaker will be connected to the white wire, and the black wire of the N5 speaker will be connected to the white with black stripe wire. Do the same with the second N5 speaker, and connect it to the gray channel. Ensure you position your speakers according to the amplifier's channel they are connected to. If the speakers are connected to the left channel, make sure you position them on the left-hand side of your ride. The same goes for the right channel. For those who have the NUTV5-S system, let's move on to the N-sub subwoofer. The N-sub subwoofer will be connected to the purple and green rear channels in a bridge connection, which means the black wire of the N-sub will be connected to the negative right rear channel output, purple and black wire. The red wire of the N-sub will be connected to the positive left rear channel output, the green wire. The solid purple and green black wires should remain untouched. Before you play tunes for the first time, let me show you how to use the NBC Bluetooth controller. The volume knob on the NBC is meant to control the volume of both RCA outputs, AMP1 and AMP2 RCA outputs. So for the NUTV5 setup, you will use only the volume knob to control the volume of your speakers. And if you have the NUTV5-S system, underneath the volume knob, you have the AMP2 volume control buttons. These buttons will allow you to control the volume of the AMP2 RCA output independently. In our setup, AMP2 RCA outputs are connected to the amplifier's rear channel RCA input, which powers up the subwoofer. This means I can control the subwoofer's volume separately. So now, I can use the volume knob to set the volume of both RCA outputs, the tower speakers and the subwoofers to 80%, for example, which is loud enough for me. But if I'm after more bass, I can increase the AMP2 volume to 100% for a perfect sound experience. The NBC's volume knob and buttons are designed so each click of the knob or button is equal to 10% of output volume, making it easy to control while riding. This is the end of this video. Now the only thing left to do is turn on your NBC Bluetooth controller, connect to the GNOME Bluetooth, and go for a ride. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below or contact us at service@noamaudio.com. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thanks for watching.